always put this stupid microphone on the same side as the freaking seatbelt. Oh man. Alright. Today is a early morning. It's just about 4 a.m. and heading over to the gym for cardio and push day. It's kind of likely going to be the normal daytime day shift routine if I'm going to be going to the gym beforehand. Especially if I'm putting in that 30 minutes of cardio before the lifting, so. It's definitely a bit of a adjustment to get up this early. I'm gonna have to start going to bed maybe a little early at night. I tend to be one of those, I can't remember what the word is, it's like nocturnal, what do they call it? Nocturnal procrastination something. Basically where it's, you have a busy day, so you feel like the only time you can get things done that you want to get done is at nighttime, so you stay up at night to have the time to get your stuff done. That's traditionally what I guess I do. So gonna have to try and cut that out and just do my stuff during the day, I guess. So yeah, today's a push day, so bench press. I don't know, I'm probably gonna stick with flat bench. I've been definitely trying to incorporate a little bit more incline stuff on my upper body day, because I was kind of neglecting it, I guess, as far as like a compound push movement. So, but we'll probably gonna do skunk incline bench machine today, which I usually do. Today is definitely one of those days where you have to operate basically just on habit and not on self-motivation. I can tell you, if I had to wait for motivation to make me wake up every morning, it probably wouldn't have the, the word you want to say is, my appearances at the gym wouldn't be as high as they are. So this is why I'm trying to stay into a pretty strict routine, or else if I start deviating from it, it becomes a little more easy for me to make excuses for why I don't go. I think there's anything else I can add in before the gym. I'm almost just pulling up here, so. Yeah, I got a busy day at work today, so it's gonna be pretty jam-packed day, I think. Got some new pre-workout I'm trying out, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I feel like with these videos that I'm kind of like progressing for some reason. Like I'm having not really so hard, like not so much of a difficult time actually talking to the camera, but it's more the talking about things. Like, what the hell do I talk about? So gym routine today, push with some tricep work. Gonna be more heavy focused. So a couple compound movements, lower on the rep range, but hopefully gonna get the heavier weights. I can definitely feel I'm at that point with the whole dieting thing and being lower on carbs and fats that I am feeling a little bit more sluggish than I usually would. So I think I'm not gonna change my caloric intake, but there are a lot of days where I do leave leftover calories. If I go to bed and I'm not really feeling hungry, I'll just, I'll end the day on whatever, maybe 1,600 or 1,800 calories for the day instead of the 22, which I've allotted for myself. I might start putting some carbs early in the morning just to kind of get through this brain fog. I think that's half the issue. I've noticed too with my weight on the scale that it's kind of hit a bit of a deadlock, and I think it might be because I've been a little bit more strict with not the cardio. The cardio is what's keeping the fat loss down, or keeping up with the fat loss. But I think it might be a little bit because of my lifting that maybe there's a little bit of muscle growth as the fat loss kind of continues. The body's using that for energy stores, which allows a little bit of a kind of caloric maintenance for what I'm not eating. And as that, continues to kind of diminish and I lose glycogen stores and my body has less stored energy, I'm gonna probably feel more of this brain fog, energy loss. And I'll probably see, a little bit more of a slow, gradual weight loss on the scale now. I'm hoping that if it's not busy, there's not a whole lot of cars here right now. I would like to try and get into the studio room and at least get a couple pictures, but we'll see what's going on inside. Anyways, I'm not going to chat in the car for too much right now. Get my caffeine in me. I'll probably chat on the way to work, talk about a little bit more about building habits versus relying on routines and all that exciting stuff. Maybe we'll see something in the gym depending on what's going on up there, and if not, I'll just talk to you afterwards. Oh boy, here we go. Oh God, I can't stop yawning. All right. So today was one of those days where a 12-hour shift started to feel like a 14-hour shift or something like that, or 16-hour shift. It was a long day, and not a whole lot was really happening. And I don't know if that's what made it feel long, like just, not that I was sitting around doing nothing, but it was kind of like just busy work of paperwork, I guess. I don't know. Anyways. Glad that's done. I'm gonna head home and figure out one more meal for the night, I think. This camera needs an ND filter so bad. So what was I talking about this morning? It was talking about motivation versus building a habit, or, routines, and how waiting for something to become motivating, or if you just rely on motivation by itself, like an external factor, like, I don't know, use gym routines, or, applying to school, or doing, schoolwork even, or working at your job. If you solely require something to motivate you to do that, work can be, that's a little bit different, because not everyone's going to do work that, they're solely do just because they enjoy or feel the need for it. But, so the motivation for work for a lot of people is money, which, everyone obviously has to have a paycheck so they could pay for their house, pay for food, pay for their gym membership, all that stuff, right? So that one's a bit different, but things like, starting a new diet, trying to lose weight, starting a workout routine, learning a new hobby, trying to do YouTube videos. I think you almost have to rely on it becoming a routine that even if you lose motivation, or, maybe, things that motivate you can change. So we'll go back to a work, for example, working at a job. Maybe you start a career because you're deeply motivated by, what the job represents, or, helping people, if you're thinking of like healthcare, or whatever it might be. You have a deep passion for tinkering with vehicles. But then, as you do the career for 3, 4, 10, 15, 20 years, maybe you become a little more, I don't want to say cynical, but maybe that motivation wears off a bit, and it becomes more about, paychecks and earning a pension, or planning for retirement, or going on vacations. So I do see motivation changing, and I think being able to recognize that if you develop a routine around something, that it kind of will allow, motivations to either change, or, if there's a point in time where you have no motivation to do something. Like, there's days where I'm not motivated to go to work, but I just know if I don't go to work and I don't get a paycheck, I won't be able to put a roof over my head. So, what the fuck, man? That's where I rely on the routine of things. The same thing goes for the gym. Like, there's mornings where my alarm goes off at 3 a.m. and I can barely drag my butt out of bed. But I know that if I don't do those things or if I don't maintain my routine at the gym, I'm going to gain weight again, or, all these other things I'm doing, like dieting or starting cardio, they're not going to really achieve the desired effects I'm hoping for. So I try to chisel out an hour to 2 hours of my day every day so that it becomes a routine thing where I know that I have to do this at some point today, whether or not I want to or I feel motivated to. It's like when I want to, do education for, for paramedicine. It's fun to sign up for all these courses and then, want to, talk about the content or prepare to learn it. But, maybe once you start the course, it's not so exciting, or you realize that there's, something else going on that day, or you're missing out on time off with the family or time doing something with friends, and it becomes a little bit more difficult. So again, if you develop routines around that kind of stuff, I think that's really the strongest way to kind of remain in routine, or remain committed to your goals. Anyways, today's going to be another kind of short video. I didn't really get a chance to talk after the gym because I was running late. Tomorrow's a switchover day, thankfully, which means we're going into nights, which is a bit of a tricky day because I'll be sleeping tonight, no doubt, and I'll wake up tomorrow morning. I don't know. I might do the gym in the morning, which will hopefully give me some incentive to have a nap in the afternoon, which might actually help me out with the night shift. But if my morning's feeling a bit slow and unmotivated, then I might push it off till the afternoon when the kids are in school and I have a little bit more time. I don't have to worry about rushing through it. Either way, I'll try and get this put together so it makes a little bit of sense. I know it's a little bit mumble-jumbled, but for those of you watching, thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one.